we're going to detail this Fender Bass Breaker 15. This is a nice little amp I just picked up, and I'm planning on putting it on reverb. And I got this from a gentleman I refer to as Mr. X. He sold me a lot of gear, and everything he sold me has been so cheap and so mint. Everything's been perfect shape. Well, I had the hand wired uh, Deluxe Reverb 65. I got that from him and I sold that. And I don't know how many Fender Venteras and pickups. And what a wonderful guy. He's just a wonderful guy. And he's gone through a lot of gear, and a lot of it's passed through my hands, and I'm so appreciative of it. So this baby, I'm not familiar with this kind of Tolex, and I mean, it's really clean. There's no marks on this amp, but you can see where the you have this guy that sits on top of amps. And so when I removed it, you can see like a very faint line around the amp where this was protecting it from getting dusty. And none of his stuff has been like really dirty or anything. But I'm going to I just want to make it as clean as possible. And then I take my pictures because it's in beautiful shape. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is figure out what to use. I don't want to use anything. I'll probably use like a rag that's barely damp and just wipe this and see what happens. Because, well, I'll get the camera over here and I'll show you what I'm talking about up here. This sits inside there. I'm not going to put it in all the way, but you can see how this thing kind of covers the top. And there's like a little line. I don't know if you can see that. Just a little tiny bit. A little bit of dust, because it's a different kind of it's not like regular Tolex on an amp. It's like you can see like dust and that will collect on here. So I just want to get it totally clean and then take my pictures. Well, I decided the first thing I ought to try instead of a slightly moist rag is a toothbrush. And just kind of move it in some different directions to get into the porous nature of this. I can see a line right here. Can you see that line? Right there? Right here? Let's see what happens. Maybe this will just take it right away. Yeah, look at that. All it is just the slightest little bit of dust. So I think I'm just going to go over it with a toothbrush. You can see the little bit of a line right there. Man, this thing is clean. It just comes right off. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the whole amp with the toothbrush. Now there's a slight mark right here where the amp hit something. And other than that, it's pretty stinking clean. I don't know what this is. I'd like to get that off. It's right on the front. I don't think that this Tolex style is robust at all. I think it just gets marked up. It might be some kind of, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like regular vinyl. I don't know if it's some kind of tweed. I don't know. But I got to be careful. But I would like to get that off. Well, I'm not sure if it was, I thought it was like something stuck on there, but I'm not sure if it got bumped there. But a little bit of the old Sharpie, it's pretty much gone. I don't want to mess with it too much. I mean, when you look at these amps, you always see they're all scratched all over. Because now the tiny bit of damage to this side, so you can see that right there. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'll do it in real time. See, it got hit a little bit right there. Just a little bit of the marker. And kind of much better. I don't think there's any other marks on this amp. All right. So what I'll do now is I will dust off the top of it. Make sure that it's really clean up there where the knobs are up here for my photo session. I watched a video on this amp, a pretty famous YouTuber, and it was really gross. He was talking about the amp and it was really gross up here. I mean, I'm serious when I take my pictures, especially when it's something that's super clean. I mean, this amp obviously didn't go anywhere. It just sat in Mr. X's jam room with all his other stuff. That's why it's always super clean. So I'm going to clean that off, and I think I'm just about done. There's really nothing to do too much to this amp. Well, whatever that was here, it's gone. It has vanished. Just a little bit of marker. I don't see it. The only mark on this amp that you really notice is here. And if you didn't notice it was there, well, I can see it. Of course, I know it's there. That one little mark. So when I put this on reverb, will I put mint? No. Any flaw, I won't put mint. But when I get these pictures done, you're going to see just how clean this amp is. So that's what I do. I'm not used to dealing with this kind of texture. I'm just used to dealing with like the regular Tolex. And here's the things that you need to clean an amp. This is a alcohol wipe. And a lot of times on guitar cases too, you'll see near the edges there'll be white marks. This always takes off the white marks. If the Tolex is ripped, a lot of times I'll glue it back down. If it's just like pushed up, like let's just say this is the piece of ripped Tolex. If it's just kind of pushed out of shape and up and you can see the plywood, I'll bend it. I'll work it a bit and see, can I push it back into position? Because if I can, I will put some glue underneath it and carefully put it back down. I'll do that. If pieces are torn off, which they usually are, then I just use El Sharpe. And that makes it look so much better. And you've got to, take one of these out of your makeup. This is really nice because it's super soft. And a toothbrush, it works wonders on things like this that get dusty. It amazes me. People will try to sell something and it looks like it's been in the garage with a 1/2 inch dust on it. People are so lazy and they're dumber than a box of rocks. I just don't understand. I don't get it. I'm not the brightest light on the planet, but I know if I want to sell something, I want to clean it. I want to make it look good. So I'll show you a couple of pictures of what this amp looks like now. All right, that is it for this video. And if you don't mind, you could do me a favor. Yeah, that doesn't hurt my feelings and it doesn't cost you any money. I really appreciate that. So I will see you next time. That is Amp Cleaning 101 with McFly. Have a great day. Take care, everybody.